Hi, and welcome back to Brentwood Stories. In our latest episode, Celia and I welcome two of Brentwood Public Library's internet stars, Kofi and Andres. Listeners might remember Andres from our episode featuring library pages Joshua and Juan, or from his work on our library's other podcast, Average Brentwood Teens. Kofi works behind the scenes in our tech services department, but you might be familiar with him from his time on our library's Twitch channel. Kofi and Andres talk about working at the library, esports, and viral videos, all in the upcoming episode. Enjoy!
Hello, my name is Andres Posada. I've been here at the Brentwood Public Library for almost 10 years. I am a youth clerk services that works in the children's department and the teens department, and it's an honor to be here.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Kofi and Andres. I work in the technical services department at the Brentwood Public Library, mostly processing items, processing media books, as well as receiving packages. And yeah, happy to be here.
How long have you been working in tech services for?
In tech services specifically, because I did start as a page.
You did start as a page. How long have you been working at the library for? More interesting question.
It's been 5 years.
Wow.
5 years.
So, how old were you when you started gaming?
Thank you.
In general.
In general, when you started gaming as a kid, how old were you and what was the game you played then?
I was 3 years old when I started playing video games. Since all of my older brothers, I'm the youngest of four, they all played video games, so I got a lot of hand-me-downs in that regard. My first game was Pokemon Red on the Game Boy Color. We got it at a garage sale, and it was awesome. It was a great experience.
What was your first new system when you were a kid?
My first new system. The first system that I had on for myself was the Game Boy Advance. My family didn't want me having consoles for myself, so I started with portable consoles.
What about you, Andres?
First, it would have to be the PlayStation 1. When it first came out, I remember I used to play this game called Toy Story 2. And also, some of these games are Disney games. I don't know why I'm obsessed with them. But 102 Dalmatians, very good game. Check it out. But yeah, that was my first major big console system.
So, Kofi, I heard you're interested in fighting games. Have you tried Project L by Riot Games yet?
I have not. Unfortunately, the game has not come out yet.
Oh, it has not come out.
It has not come out, but I'm super, super excited. I saw the trailer. It's going to have it. During COVID, obviously there hasn't been as many in-person events, and online for a lot of games isn't too great. But one of the lead developers of Project L, Tom Cannon, is one of the main developers of Rollback, which is this new implementation for online play that should create a way better online experience. So I'm really excited for it.
Now, you just mentioned tournaments. So tell us a little bit how you started doing tournaments and how you worked your way up the ranks, especially with Super Smash Brothers, and where you ranked at this point.
It's actually kind of a weird story. I was most kids are when they're in elementary school, oh, I'm the best in my class, or I'm the best in my house. All right, so I was one of those, little brats, little scampers. I was oh, I'm so good, I'm the best, right? And my friend was he went to a taekwondo center. He's oh, we're doing a Smash tournament, you should enter, you can just win free money, right? So I went. So I won. so if I didn't have a big ego before, now my ego is
How old were you when you won that tournament? That first tournament?
I was 8.
8?
Yeah, so I was 8 years old. So it was a weird event. They had they wanted everyone to have a good chance of winning. So they had a kid's bracket, a teenager bracket, and an adult bracket. And then at the end, all three were going to play against each other, the 3 winners of each bracket. So the kids bracket was kind of whatever, I'm just going to win this, right, because I was a kid. Since they wanted to see, the kid should go the farthest, so instead of doing, a 3-way match, we did, the teenager and adult played, and then the adult won, and then I played the adult and won. So it was kind of a weird event, but I did end up winning that event. From there, I didn't play any competitive play at all because I just didn't know about it. It wasn't super widespread. until just about high school, someone was like, "Oh, I go to this tournament like on Fridays. You should try to compete." And I went there, and I got beat up. I got beat up. A lot of people were better than me. And it was definitely a very humbling experience. But I was able to, create a lot of friendships in the scene in Long Island. And now I kind of do it like pretty occasionally, pretty regularly. I enter events.
And what's your highest ranking game?
In New York, my highest ranking has been number 10.
Number 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
man.
So what's your favorite, Andreas, now that you're older?
Oh well, I actually play. I play FIFA, but I play pro clubs. So pro clubs pretty much is I have my own character and then 10 other players, which is 11 people in a soccer game. We all play at the same time and we do league matches. So it's like semi-pro. So that's what I've been doing lately. We have a Division 1 team.
So how did the two of you hook up playing together at the library and running programs? How did that happen?
So I think the first one we ever did was the Super Smash Brothers tournament. We did.
Right.
We hosted it together, and I thought, hey, how about let's have Kofi in there with me, And since we have like complete opposite personalities, we blended pretty well.
Andreas is pretty
out there. I know.
He's pretty out there. I'm pretty just kind of inside, kind of cool. So it created a nice dynamic for like the commentary for the
For
event.
people who don't know them, yes, Andres is very out there and Kofi's very quiet. And so a lot of people don't know much about you, Kofi, because you are behind the scenes at the library and maybe they don't see you all the time in the library. So why did you come to work at the library?
Well, I had a friend that worked there, shout outs to Tevin. I've known Tevin actually for a long time, like since like he was in like 4th grade.
Oh.
So when he was at, I was looking for a job, in high school. He's like, I work at the library, you should go to the library. And another friend of mine was like, oh yeah, we'll both work there together. It's like, oh cool, like this could be great, right? He was gonna drive me, but then he was like, well, it's kind of like a competition, right? We both, gave in our applications and someone has to get it. We don't know how many spots there were. We were just, seeing if we could get a job. And he was like, I'm not driving you. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, man, it's a competition. Yeah, so I guess I luckily ended up, walking to the library and, handing my application and becoming a page in 2016.
So what about you, Andres? What motivated you? Did you hang out here before you applied for your job at the library?
When I was in high school, I used to come here pretty much every single day. I just enjoyed it. I did the programs, but the majority of the time that I've been here, I guess I've been known from the librarians. But I started to realize that I wanted to work, make my career move as a librarian when I went to Suffolk Community College. At that time, I was my major originally was computer engineering. So when I took my first class there, they gave me this big circuit board and I guess different math formulas, and I looked at it. I'm like, no, I want to be a librarian. So then I got up, went to my advisor, and I told him listen, I want a career change, so blah blah. And right now I'm in library school right now, so I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Andreas, I heard something about a viral video. I have not seen it, but everybody talks about it. So tell us about this viral video.
Well, it depends which viral video are you talking about, because I have done the music videos, but if I'm correct, the viral video would be me dancing, and there was this really good mix. The DJ did really well, and I just went crazy, and then I think I hit around 21 million views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because at the time I was still new with the whole YouTube thingy-majigger, I didn't record it. It was someone else who recorded it, but still, hey, people hit me up. They're like, oh, you still there? I'm like, no, I retired.
Now, when you, Kofi, working in the technical services department, it is indeed a very behind-the-scenes aspect of the library that not a lot of people get to see. Is there anything interesting that you learned about how the library works from being behind in technical services?
Oh yeah, I feel like the whole process was like completely unknown to me, and I guess it wasn't something that I really thought about. It's like, oh, these books are just here. They just come in. I'm at the library. There are books
It's
here.
magic.
Yeah, they just appear, right? So it's really nice to like see like the behind the scenes. You know, oh, the boxes come in. They get invoiced. There's so many like different processes and different people doing. Like I'm just a piece of technical services. You know, so it was really nice to like really see what's going on behind the scenes.
What is your favorite non-Smash game?
My favorite non-Smash game. I will say I play a lot of Smash Brothers. But these days I've been playing some Valorant, right? I really like Riot games. I'm definitely a fan. So I've played a lot of Valorant. I played some Legends of Runeterra, it's a card game. I used to play a little bit of Hearthstone. These days, actually, I sometimes speed run games, and I speed run Super Mario Sunshine on Nintendo GameCube.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Andres, have you ever fought Kofi in Smash Brothers?
Yes, he washes me. There's no possible way I can be Kofi at Super Smash Brothers, but if it comes to Tekken, that's a different story.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's 100%.
So, Kofi, what's been your biggest prize
Okay.
winning in tournaments?
I did. So back when Smash Ultimate came out, kind of excitement was like at a high. Everyone wanted to play Smash Brothers. They were all like, "Oh, see me in Ultimate. I'm gonna be the best Ultimate player." So even like our local events were getting like over 100 entrants. So that was like already like pretty like daunting. But I did end up winning one like a 150 entrant bracket, and I ended up gaining $500.
Wow. That is awesome. So now we have to talk about Mr. Poe.
Oh, man.
So how did this start?
Mr. Poe? I mean, well, if you've known me, I like to incorporate different costumes, wigs, and personas that I have. Mr. Poe came up in mind watching a lot of game show hosts, like, Jeopardy and, How to Be a Millionaire. So I incorporated that idea into this one big personality, a librarian personality. So I just went in there and I became Mr. Poe.
So did you expect Mr. Poe to be as popular as he
Not
became?
at all. I thought it was going to be a one and done.
One and done?
Yeah, but then he just picked up traction and we started doing different publicity videos, like promoting programs and different ideas for the library, and I think it's pretty cool. So now we have like a virtual version of me. It's a whole brand.
He's under contract now.
Yes, it's in contract.
And I occasionally see Mr. Popo.
Yes, that's my little protege right there.
So that's your protege. Okay.
He's a protege, yes.
Okay. All right.
So what's the experience been working with the teen department? Have you worked with teens ever since you came to the library?
At the beginning, no, but I'm gonna say maybe 4 years now. I've been working with teens now, and I gotta say it's a different experience. You learn something new literally almost every single day. A lot of personalities, and it's pretty cool that we get to implement their all their thoughts in our podcast, which is the Average Brentwood Teens. So I think we're in episode, I'm about to hit 40 if I'm correct.
All right.
Now, so they're just, it's metronome completely from the beginning. You can tell how we started out the podcast, and now they're good. You set them up, they know what to do, and it's amazing.
That's right. It really just almost runs itself at this point. The teams,
Literally.
they just sort of take over. I know you have some really great personalities working there. I had a couple of them on my podcast a little earlier. You were able to
Joshua and
Juan. Really, really great folks to get to know for my first interview with them.
Yeah. I think now, if I'm correct, they do their own like syndicated podcast with the government or something like that. I'm like, wow, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so
yeah.
it's cool that they can implement that in their own like careers and have it in their resume, because you know it's great stuff to have on that. So it's cool that I get to be a part of that.
When I was a child and came to Brentwood Library, now I'm much older, heading for the 60s, okay, there were no male employees.
Wow.
Other than generally the director or custodial staff in the library. So I do enjoy when people, particularly children, come into the library and see male librarians, male clerks in the library, particularly bilingual. So it gives children the opportunity to say, hey, this is something, you know, I can do, you know, whether they're seeing Peter at the reference desk or you in the children's or teen department or Kofi, you know, back in technical services. Rarely.
If they see me.
Rarely we have a
From time to time.
Kofi sighting. But I'm proud about that. I think you're all great role models for the kids in this community.
That's what we do, you know. That's
what we do.
That's what we do.
So, Kofi, what made you decide to compete as a pro in gaming?
Yeah, it definitely didn't happen like all at once. It was just I'll do this on the side. Why not? Well, I made some money. That's nice. Let's go to Five Guys, you know. And for the previous Smash game, Smash for Wii U, that came out in 2014. I didn't even travel that often. It was mostly just tournaments in New York. It's like, oh, I'm pretty good. That's okay. You know, I'll go to local tournaments. It's fine. But when Ultimate came out, I entered this one online event, and I happened to get the prize, which was a trip to California.
Wow.
Honestly, that might be the biggest prize.
Okay.
Now that I think about it.
Okay.
And, you know, competing there was like, you know, a super like humbling experience, right? You get to play basically everyone. When it comes to major tournaments, players from Japan, Australia, Europe, everyone comes and everyone competes. So it's really, really a really cool experience. I ended up like getting an upset. I beat like one of the top 8 players there. So it was like a really nice, you know, everyone gets hype and things like that.
Would you ever make streaming your full-time career?
If I had the chance, I'd have to think about it. I think streaming is like really, really cool. You know, you get to connect with, you know, members of your own community. You get to like play games with them, right? It's really like a spark of like a great community effort like coming together. If I had the chance to make it full time, yeah, I would do it.
Now, if that didn't work out for you, do you have any other aspirations here? Do you have any desire to try working in different departments, or do you have any other plans for the future?
Right now I'm in school.
What are you studying?
I'm studying computer science. I'm going to get my bachelor's at SUNY Empire.
Excellent.
And after that, I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe going to library school. I feel like if I'm going to be at the library, I want to like get the full experience.
Right.
So I might
That's
work
awesome.
to get my master's. We'll see.
Very good. Very good. So, Andres, I heard you've been doing some redecorating of your home as of late.
Redecorating?
Yes, I heard there's some redecorating going on at your place. Is that true?
Oh, well, I mean, I like to get like different tchotchkes things, you know, for my favorite character from Naruto.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I like putting stuff, like, you know, like little portraits and stuff on the wall. So if you've seen like my desk, I have like a whole bunch of different, they're not toys, they're action figures.
Oh.
But yes. That's
We
what I like
share
to do.
office space, and I've been corrected several times to move your toys back to your desk, but I'm corrected. They're not toys. They're action figures.
Yes, they're action figures.
And I noticed Mr. Poe's wardrobe is expanding and
Yes.
encroaching on more of my space as time goes on.
I'm so sorry.
Have you thought about your own personal closet? for
Yes, I was
Mr.
thinking
Poe?
about it. I'll talk to the director and see if we can blow a room or something and put a couple of hangers in there.
Did I keeping this in?
Probably, I don't know.
I think
So is there anything the two of us the two of you would like? Is there anything the two of you would like to tell us about yourselves?
I stream casually, like at home, apart from like the library, which is pretty nice. I just actually recently hit Twitch affiliate, which is like, wow, you're kind of like a streamer now. Mm-hmm. So that's been nice.
You like to share your username with everyone on the audience?
Sure.
Shout out. Follow at.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Kofi, that's my name, and XV, Kofi XV.
All right.
If you wanna watch me play Smash or, just do random things. That's what I do.
So do you enjoy coming out of technical services and doing some of the tournaments with the kids and some of the programs? Do you enjoy doing that?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of weird because people, like, know me. So it's a little bit of a surreal experience when people are like, I come out of the, like, the back and they're like, oh, it's Kofi. And I'm like, are you a new worker here? They're like, oh, I saw you in that like video, right? Because a lot of tournaments get like streamed on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm in this like one compilation of like this like funny moments. It has like 3 million views. Everyone's like always DMing me on Twitter. Yo, I saw you in that video, and I'm like, you did. But yeah, I definitely like working with like the kids and like just playing Smash with them because they're super excited about it, and it's nice to give them that experience.
So Andreas, you've been doing, now that we're opening up a little bit more, some outreach in the school district, and you'll be going out this summertime probably doing some outreach. Do you enjoy going out into the schools and meeting with the kids?
Well, yes, I'm excited because now I can use the Mr. Poe persona out of the library.
Very good.
I've never done that. It's been either normally me or we bring in our other friend Alberto. But I think that would be pretty cool to expand the brand.
Excellent.
Any plans for collaborative work between you two in the future? Are you going to keep on doing what you're doing, maybe a little more?
I'm hoping we do a third time, we get to do another one,
Commentating with Andres is always a fun time. He's the life of the party. It's definitely a great experience. We could do like some collab Twitch.
No, definitely, man, definitely. I was also thinking, how I do Mr. Poe and I have the microphone. I want to put you on this, man. Get your own persona, Mr. Kofi.
Maybe not. That seems like a big leap.
All right, I tried.
I do know, Kofi, that when we have our Uplift Brentwood gaming tournaments here at the library that the kids enjoy when you come down and you play and everything. Do you like doing that, encouraging the kids at some of these tournaments?
Yeah. Like when I was in school, obviously there wasn't like much talk about like esports and like, a competitive gamer, right? It wasn't a thing. So I'm happy to be like, that person for them that like, oh, wow, this guy really goes to tournaments and like, goes across the state and like, does those things. So it's really nice.
Do you see that kids and teens are gaming more since we've been in lockdown with COVID? And, do you think more kids are picking it up and playing?
I think these kids are gamers.
Yeah.
I think they're gamers. They're gamers at heart. They want to come in and play some video games. It doesn't really matter what it is. They just want to play.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's very true.
Really quick question: are you playing like the most recent version of Smash when you usually play in tournaments and everything? I know that like sometimes they have a preference like the GameCube version or anything like that.
Yes. There are two, I guess, main Super Smash Bros. Games that get played. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube. Since that game it was made so uniquely that no other like Smash game has really captured what is in that game. And then there's like modern Smash players that play like the most recent Smash game. So that's like me playing, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch.
Yeah. This might not be for the podcast, but I've heard rumors that like some Smash players, they have a preference for CRT TVs, like the old school boxy TVs, because it's something to do with the frame rate and helps them play better. Do you see that a lot in tournaments? Like people like bring TVs in or anything?
Yes, 100%. I have carpooled with a player that has put his TV, his CRT, like he put it in a seatbelt to make sure it was safe because he needs it for the event. Yeah.
So you got to bring the old TV. You got to have like the old hookups for the Game Boy, for the GameCube.
Yes. We're actually kind of scared that like we're gonna run out. Like the CRTs will like eventually break down, and like what are we gonna do? But actually, I know it's a player in Florida, Hungrybox, really a top player in Super Smash Bros. Melee, who's been kind of pushing these like HD monitors that have really low like refresh rate, so, to mitigate the frame delay that would be present.
That's funny. We're going to be like emulating the latency eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Software is funny. And yeah.
Before we close out this podcast, follow your dreams. Don't stop. Keep walking. Don't go to sleep. Because at the end of the day, if you wake up and you ain't got nothing, you're taking a nightmare. Lots of love.
I'm keeping that in.
Andres, I have a question for you. So where'd that come from?
I don't know, man. Sometimes it just comes into
Off
my
the
head.
cuff.
Off the cuff, man.
That's crazy.
When you work with the teens, you're used to like being that beacon of inspiration, because you've been there already. And you show them the way. So, very inspirational. I am indeed keeping that in.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, folks. Thank you so much for your time.
No, definitely.
No worries.
Great.
All right.
Thank you again to Kofi and Andres for joining us in our latest episode. Keep an eye out on our library's Twitch channel and social media for more quality content from two of Brentwood Library's biggest rising stars. And thank you as always to the Brentwood Historical Society for making today's episode possible. Today's music is once again brought to you by Dr. Turtle. Check out his music for free at freemusicarchive.org.